Okay, so this one is probably the final touch that you're going to get to have. One of the final touch you can use. You already got a selection, and now you want to take your selection or take your subject and bringing them into a different background, into a different place. So I want to, with two completely different pictures, as you could see that you can notice, I'm pretty sure that everyone noticed that it wasn't shot at the same time of the day. So this was like one of the birds in flight, and this is the actual sunset. It's not even in the same place. So what I wanted to try is just to show you like how can I make this bird match probably this sunset. So here's one thing you want to do is that you want to make a selection of that uh, subject. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here, and this one you've seen like all the green screen selection and all that. You can use that too. Keep on doing that. I just want to go really quickly and just to show you this one, I'm going to hide the adjustment, put the layer, and first of all, is that I'm going to make a copy of it. It's a Control J, and I'm going to go back and make a selection really quickly. And this is why I like a lot of the Wacom tablet. So this over here, and obviously, and I'll need to fix that. So I'm going to zoom in. And here's a few tools I wanted to show you, and then I'll go back and show you what I've done with other tools. Okay, so I'm going to decrease that. And I just want to, as you can see over here, like it's kind of like a straight edge. So I would probably prefer to go and use the polygon. Hold on to Shift and click where you want to start. And just follow along by clicking where you want to keep the actual information. Okay, and keep on adding some points and over here too. And as soon as you get to like, okay, I want to select all of these, you don't need to go back to like when it turns to be a O, so that means that that's complete. You just go in here and just double click anywhere, and you see it snaps all together. So over here is that I'm gonna see is that those are straight legs, so therefore I'm gonna use this tool for sure. Like if I go all the way to over here, it does a pretty good job. Like I can actually do not too bad. And obviously, like if I would be really, really serious to do this, I would actually just go in and do even more than that. So I'm just going to close that for now because you don't need to see me selecting. I think you get the picture of this. And when I'm going to come back, you will see the end product. Okay, so now that I made a selection which is way better, and I'm just going to try to get these things. It's not really particular, but it's just like to go back to what we've seen before. If you activate any of these buttons, you can go to the refine edge, and it's already set up as you can see in the past few days. I'm going to go back to 5.5, something like that, or 5. And maybe not as much because I see that I lost a beak over here. Okay, so I'm going to go to decontaminate in case there is, and I'm just going to go and paint over just this area. And let's see. And now I'm going to go back to over here. I think it was doing a good job before. Okay, so anyways, I just want to include this. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to press OK. And let's see, I already had a selection before, so I'm going to go back to this guy and make a selection. And let's go back to this over here. And to this one too, let's see if it's different. Yeah, a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to go and paint that into the actual white. Default change. And I'm going to go into this guy over here and just paint to be white. Oh, sorry. I just did the back to white. There we go. Okay, so now I got my selection. I'm going to deselect this. And now if I go in and I just try to bring this over here just right now and go into this guy, you can see that, whoa, this is definitely not going to be matching. So I'm going to go Control Z. And what I do, or what I've done so far, is that you take this tab and you untab it, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you want to remove this so you can actually see, and I'll move it over here just because I want to see. The main thing is just that those colors. Okay, and you'll see there's a process to this, a very simple process. If you go to image now, and this is what the subject you want to take to the destination. So this is the destination I want to go. So over here, if I go to image and I go to adjustment and go to adjustment curves. Now the reason why I use this one, not the other one, is because which is the adjustment palette. There we go, palettes, options. You have this option over here. And if you click on the option, now why it's not showing, let me see, layer 2, or maybe cancel. And I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to reactivate this. Okay, so just to make sure to readjust, it's just that I was using a mask, and therefore the mask didn't have what I wanted to have. I'll show you really quickly. It's just that I made a copy of this, so I make it a selection of this guy, and activated the thumbnail, and made Control J to make a copy of it. Okay, so now you'll see what I was looking for is over here. So I'm going to go back to this part. I'm missing the two of them. Image, and oops, I didn't activate this layer. Wow, trying to go too fast. Adjustment, curves, option button. You see that we only had 2 just a while ago. Now we have the 3 sections. And the middle one, maybe that's not useful. But anyway, so there you're going to choose. If you click onto the little shadows, you click onto this, it brings this palette. Now, if you move over, you see that you have an eyedropper. And this will make a selection. Now, what do you click? Usually you want to try to have the darkest part. You do that, but you try to select somewhere where it's going to be some detail. So very kind of dark, but you can see the details. So if I click over here, and I'm looking at, like, clicking right now, and I'm watching my bird, it's just that, okay, I much prefer to have this spot over here, or maybe even this spot. Okay, so you can click and see, okay, well, now it's changing colors and all of that. It's not too bad. Okay, so I'll choose that one. Then you press OK. Oops, press OK on top. And afterwards you go to the white, and then the white you choose like somewhere it's going to be really bright. You could choose like over here if you want to, but it's not what I want. I want to have like the colors overcast kind of style. So therefore, if you go in here, I click on this, that's a little bit too much. That's a little bit better. Maybe this one over here, that's a little bit better. Okay, I'm just going to move this palette over here, so don't press OK. Then afterwards, you can go into the middle tone. If you have like a really nice gray, you can click onto that. I found that this one was like working way a little bit, like it's just for the luminosity. So I'll press OK. Then I'm going to press OK. And one thing to make sure, you can see that this is what happens to the actual picture of the actual bird. Now, if you press on OK, make sure that you don't press yes. Save the new target colors as default. Press no. Now you have this. It doesn't look that good. But if you click and drag it and bring it in here and drop it, so now I'm just going to dock this palette over here, and then it'll be over here. Okay, so I docked that, and now if I go back, well, that's not too bad. It's not too bad for looking at. Like, at least now I get the kind of the color matching, and then you can do all sort of things that you want to do. So for sure, like for me, if I would look at this, definitely impossible to take a picture that would look like that, especially when you see you have 2 other birds in here, which is dark. So therefore, I'm going to do just a test. I'm going to take a control click on the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail. I make a selection of this. I make sure that the foreground of the palette is black, and I'm just going to I'm going to make sure that I have a copy of it, and I'm going to fill that with black. Whoops. Control click onto this guy. Backspace. There you go. So that's really bad. And then I'll say, as I seen, like I use a lot of blending mode, which is this one is luminosity. It doesn't change anything you see there, but it's just like it will match way better. The only thing you have to do is just reduce the opacity and keep on doing that until you're kind of satisfied. Okay, so this is what you can do, and you can have that. And I'll show you like an end product. This is where I kind of found that it was the same thing. As you can see, I did this. I didn't do the curves. It didn't work too well for me. I did the layer of the actual black, and then if you click onto this, you see that it was luminosity at 70%. That's one that I found that was way better. Okay, and then what I've done, like this looks pretty good as far as matching together. You can do a lot of stuff, like you can blur it if you want to, because it's kind of moving forward, and but it's like, as I could see, like the waves are pretty kind of stop in motion, so therefore that would be possible. If the wave would be kind of blurry, I would actually probably add some blurry. You could do that a little bit. The other thing is just that in order to really finish a product, sometimes it's just that if you go in, I'm going to show you the adjustment. You have what is called over here is the photo filter. If you click onto this, I use that a lot too at the end, like especially when you have like a picture like this. What it's going to do is it's going to add a filter and it's going to go all the way across the picture. So when you're going to print it, it will look way better than before. So I'm just going to go back to this guy and I'm going to add this layer. I want to make sure that I didn't apply it. I'm going to reduce and just delete that guy because I already done. So I click on this. So there's nothing changes. But if I would print this, it will look way better than before. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you don't have it, and then you just print it from where I had like just the crane and just added these features. But I find that sometimes if you just had a photo filter to it, especially with those kind of colors, it makes a huge difference. So this is the somewhat the final product, and I choose those two just to make sure that you can see that, wow, if you go from the start, this is the actual picture that we had, and that was different. So you take any kind of pictures that you have, you do that process. Okay, so hopefully that helps.